The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things as the face and know them for what they are. When you rise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Anyone who can make you angry, becomes your master. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Nature hath given men one tongue but two ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Inwardly everything should be different, but our outward faith should conform with the crowd. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place but to be a different person. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If it is not right, do not it. If it is not true, do not say it. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Humans have come into being for the sake of each other, so either teach them, or learn to bear them. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, and whose presence calls forth your best. Mastery of reading and writing requires a master. Still more so life. It can ruin your life only if it ruins your character. Otherwise, it cannot harm you, inside or out. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste a good deal of it. Whatever happens at all happens as it should. You will find this true, if you watch narrowly. If what you have seems insufficient to you, then through you possess the world, you will yet be miserable. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. He is the most powerful who has power over himself. We live only now, everything else is either past or is unknown. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. As is a tale, so is life, not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Because a thing seems difficult for you, do not think it impossible for anyone to accomplish. Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of men's desires, but by the removal of desire. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. No man was ever wise by chance. What we do now echoes in eternity. Death smiles at us all we can do is smile back. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. We suffer not from the events in our lives but from our judgment about them. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. The willing are led by fate, the reluctant dragged. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. Difficulty shows what men are. While we wait for life, life passes. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. He who is brave is free. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Life, if well lived, is long enough. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. No man can escape his destiny, the next inquiry being how he may best live the time that he has to live. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. Every new beginning comes from some other's beginning end. If evil be said of thee, and if it be true, correct thyself. If it is a lie, laugh at it. Confine yourself to the present. Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself and your way of thinking. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Respect the past, be open to the future. The life we receive is not short but we make it so, we are not ill-provided but use what we have wastefully. If you live in harmony with nature you will never be poor, if you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. Stay calm and serene regardless of what life throws at you. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. He who has injured thee was either stronger or weaker than thee. If weaker, spare him, if stronger, spare thyself. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The best answer to anger is silence. Agreed. But nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. The whole future lies in uncertainty, live immediately. Here is a rule to remember in the future, when anything tempts you to feel bitter, not this is misfortune, but to bear this worthily is good fortune. Nothing endures but change. All cruelty springs from weakness. More is lost by indecision than wrong decision. From good people, you'll learn good, but if you mingle with the bad, you'll destroy such soul as you had. It is not possible to live well today unless you treat it as your last day. In order to protect ourselves we must live like doctors and be continually treating ourselves with reason. Willingly accept the inevitable, and you will lead a life in harmony with the universe. Train yourself to strive for giving, rather than receiving. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong, and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. The goal of life is living in agreement with nature,